Long before modern maps defined Africa, deep within the vast sands of the Sahara Desert, a powerful and mysterious civilization rose. They were known as the Garamantes. To outsiders, the Sahara was a place of death, endless heat, shifting dunes, and no water in sight. But to the Garamantes, it was home, and their greatest weapon. A kingdom beneath the sand. At the heart of their power was a hidden innovation, an underground irrigation system known today as Foggaras. These were long tunnels dug beneath the desert, channeling water from deep underground to their settlements. While their enemies saw only dry land, the Garamantes had flowing water beneath their feet. This allowed them to build farms, sustain cities, and support armies, right in the middle of the desert. They had done the impossible. The rise of a desert power. From around the 1st to the 5th century, the Garamantes grew into a formidable force across the Sahara. Their capital, Garama, became a center of trade and control. Caravans moved through their territory carrying gold, salt, and goods, linking sub-Saharan Africa to the Mediterranean world. But their growing power did not go unnoticed. To the north, a giant watched closely: the Roman Empire. Rome meets the desert. The Romans were used to conquering lands with roads, legions, and overwhelming force. They had defeated kingdoms, crushed rebellions, and expanded across continents. But the Sahara was different, and the Garamantes were unlike any enemy they had faced. The war no one could see. Instead of fighting Rome in open battle, the Garamantes chose a different strategy. They became shadows in the desert. Using their deep knowledge of the terrain, they launched fast, unpredictable raids on Roman outposts and supply lines. They struck quickly and vanished just as fast. This was not a war of strength. It was a war of intelligence. Masters of mobility. The Garamantes moved across the desert with incredible speed. Using chariots and light cavalry, they navigated terrain that Roman soldiers struggled to survive in. They knew where water could be found. They understood the winds, the sands, and the hidden paths. Roman forces, heavy and unfamiliar with the environment, found themselves exhausted, lost, and vulnerable. The desert itself turned against them, hit, and disappear. Roman camps would wake to sudden attacks, supplies destroyed, soldiers ambushed, routes cut off, and before reinforcements could arrive, the Garamantes were gone. No large armies, no fixed battlefields, just precision, speed, and control. It was guerrilla warfare, centuries before the term existed. Rome strikes back. The Romans attempted to retaliate. They launched expeditions deep into the desert, hoping to crush the Garamantes once and for all. But the deeper they went, the more the desert consumed them. Heat drained their strength, water became scarce, their formations broke down, and the Garamantes watched, waiting. A war without victory. Despite their power, Rome could never fully conquer the Garamantes, and the Garamantes, though fierce, did not seek to invade Rome. Instead, the conflict became a long struggle of resistance and survival, a balance of power shaped not by conquest, but by adaptation. The desert's greatest advantage. In the end, the Garamantes proved something remarkable. You don't always need a larger army to win a war. Sometimes, understanding your environment is the greatest weapon of all. They turned the harshest desert on Earth into a shield, a supply line, and a battlefield they controlled. A legacy buried in sand. Over time, the Garamantes declined, and their cities were slowly swallowed by the desert. But their story did not disappear. Today, archaeologists continue to uncover the remains of their irrigation systems, settlements, and trade networks beneath the sands of the Sahara Desert. Their legacy lives on as one of Africa's most fascinating and least known civilizations. Final reflection. The Garamantes were not just desert dwellers. They were engineers, strategists, survivors. They fought one of the greatest empires in history, not with brute force, but with knowledge, innovation, and mastery of their environment. And in doing so, they proved that even in the harshest conditions, power can rise from the sand. Follow for more untold African history.